Listening. Did you hear what was said? We have trouble listening. The simplest experimental design used to investigate human multitasking is the so called psychological refractory period effect. Here, people are asked to make separate responses to each of two stimuli presented close together in time. An extremely general finding is a slowing in response to the second appearing stimulus. It has been described by psychiatrist Edward M. Harwell that multitasking is a mystical activity in which people believe they can perform two or more tasks simultaneously as effectively as one. Interesting, isn't it? Others have researched multitasking in specific domains, such as learning. Mayer and Moreno studied the phenomenon of cognitive load in multimedia learning and concluded that it is difficult, if not impossible, to learn new information while engaging in multitasking. Juno and Cotton examined how multitasking affects academic success and found that students who engage in high levels of multitasking reported significant issues with their academic work. I have given you this to say listening is best when you do it intently. What I am saying, we are going to say what is listening. We're going to define the 5 activities of listening, the 4 types of listening, and then we're going to go through what the 7 keys to better listening are. Did you hear what was said? What is listening? The International Listening Association in 1996 defines listening as the process of receiving, constructing meaning from, and responding to spoken and or nonverbal messages. It is an essential part of oral communication, and therefore relationships, both personal and professional, cannot exist without it. The ability to listen is not inborn, however. It is a learned skill and is improved with practice. Because listening plays such a major role in oral communication, we feel it is important to our success. The 5 activities of listening. One is sensing. Sensing is the physical hearing the message and taking note of it. Number 2 is interpreting. Interpreting is decoding and absorbing what you hear. As you listen, you assign meaning to the words based on your own values, beliefs, ideas, expectations, roles, needs, and personal history. Evaluating, forming an opinion about the message, sorting through the speaker's remarks, separating fact from opinion, and evaluating the quality of the evidence required a good deal of effort, particularly if the subject is complex or emotionally charged. Remembering, this is the storing a message for future reference. To retain what you hear, you must take note or make a mental outline of the speaker's key points. And responding, acknowledging the message by reacting to the speaker in some fashion. There are 4 types of listening. Informative listening. Informative listening is the name we give to the situation where the listener's primary concern is to understand the message. Listeners are successful insofar as the meaning they assign to messages is as close as possible to that which the sender intended. Relationship listening. The purpose of relationship listening is either to help an individual or to improve the relationship between people. Therapeutic listening is a special type of relationship listening. Appreciative listening. Appreciative listening includes listening to music for enjoyment, to speakers because you like their style, to your choices in theater, television, radio, or film. It is the response of the listener, not the source of the message, that defines appreciative listening. Critical listening. The ability to listen critically is essential in a democracy. On the job, in the community, at service clubs, in places of worship, in the family. There is practically no place you can go where critical listening is unimportant. The 7 keys to better listening. Listening is not a passive activity. Listen for unspoken fears, concerns, moods, and aspirations. Good listening requires great wisdom. Listen to others with respect and validation. Listen without thinking about how you are going to respond. Listen for telltale signs of impending trouble. Listen with positive regard for people's strengths and abilities. Did you hear what was said? Proper listening. Did you hear what was said? To listen properly, you need to be silent.